Welcome to this new channel, guys. Um, I was thinking about something the other day. As you guys know, I'm training or conditioning for the 450 mile bike ride from San Francisco to Santa Monica Pier. Uh, and, I've been usually doing my regular rides, 8 miles, maybe 15 miles, and I keep staying between that, and even though it's gotten comfortable for me, but I kept doing it only because a couple of reasons. One is I always map my ride out first. I don't just go because it's too hard to gauge how far I've gone and how far it'll take to come back. So I have an app where I actually map out my ride, and then my bike computer literally tells me, turn right here, turn left here, or whatever. And I just follow the route that I had made on my laptop. But a couple weeks ago, Brother Chewy, we met in Tracy. This was when Sharon was in LA with her daughter. And we met in Tracy at the Tracy Mall, and we did a 20-mile ride. And I got really, really winded. And even though it was only roughly maybe 5 to 6 miles more than I usually do, either way, it really winded me, and it kind of concerned me, to be honest with you, because I didn't realize I was going to get so winded. And then I went to pick Sharon up. As you know, I stayed there a couple of days. And ever since I've been back, I went back to my 12 miles, 14 miles, even 15 miles, but that's it. And then yesterday, I did 21 miles. And I realized that I didn't get as winded, but I could tell that the 20-mile mark is still a struggle for me. So even though yesterday, because I was by myself and I was out here in Modesto, I couldn't push myself, to be honest with you, because I made a route, but I don't know how those streets are until I'm there. And unfortunately, a lot of those streets, there's a lot of stop signs, a lot of traffic lights. So I couldn't really get a good coast. And but man, to be honest, once I hit 14, 15 miles, I started to get tired. My legs, my lungs. So again, I was fine until the point of where I usually ride, and then I got tired. So once again, it was confirmation. I need to quit doing the 14, 15 miles, and I need to push to 20. Even if I take it slow, I would rather do those and be uncomfortable than do the 14 miles comfortably when I get home, And it just made me think of this, right? It made me think that sometimes in life, I've seen a lot of people serve God, and they go hard, and then they kind of slip up and fall off and go back to the world and whatnot, and then they're missing for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and then they catch a second wind, and then they come back again, and they go hard for Jesus, maybe 7, 8, 9 months, maybe even a year. But they go hard. But then they fall off. And it's this repeating cycle. And I was thinking, if I keep doing these little 14, 15 mile rides, I'm always going to be tired by the time I hit 20. And if I get tired at 20, how am I going to do 75 miles on day one from San Francisco to Santa Cruz? How am I going to do 72 miles from Santa Cruz to Big Sur? How am I going to do Big Sur to the next one and the next one? It's 6 days of riding. And I realized that I need to start, because here's the thing. The San Francisco to Santa Monica isn't a race. Nobody's racing. there's no reason to sprint. There's no reason to force the cranks harder than I can pedal. There's no reason. It's just enjoying it, enjoying the ride, and riding my bike, not at any specific time, but at a pace I'm comfortable with. And then I can get to the end of that day. And then the next day I get to the end of that day. And so, in other words, take each day at a time and pace myself. Because doing these 20-mile rides, the one I did with Brother Chewy and then the one I did yesterday, I realized I can't do 14 miles anymore because my body's already used to 14 miles. I need to push it. But like I said yesterday, even though it kind of forced me to stop and go because of the traffic lights, I realized that if it was a straight country ride, I would have got really tired like I did with Brother Chewy. You know, and I guess, you know, ultimately it's about pace. If I had to pace myself to ride my bike to go for longer distance, then maybe we should pace ourselves in our walk with Christ. Maybe we should pace ourselves in our marriages. Maybe we should pace ourselves in the things that we want to accomplish in life. You know, it was true one day, I heard this, and I'm guilty of this. I remember somebody had said, you know, why don't you do, you know, say, I can't remember what it was. Let's say jumping rope and push-ups. And I remember saying, man, I'm too heavy. I could probably do just a handful of push-ups and a few jump ropes. And the person said, yeah, but what if you do those few? Can you imagine where you'll be a year from now? He goes, but if you don't do nothing, next year, you're going to be able to do only what you can do today. And I didn't take heed to the advice. I bought a jump rope. I bought some weights, some dumbbells. I bought, what's the machine called? That big machine for weights. What are they called again? I don't remember. Those machines with those cable things. Anyways, you know, and then I think back and say, man, if I would have started then, a year ago, where would I be today? You know, if I had started to push myself to 20 miles a month ago, maybe now I'd be up to 30. You know, and in the same way with your walk in Christ, in the same way in the way you live your life, you know. So everybody that's doing the challenge, you know, even then, I've told them, I remember Brother Chewy, he had a hybrid bike, and it was a little heavy, you know, and he got that bike, and he was riding, but he was getting tired. He couldn't really go further. He couldn't seem to pass his average speed. Bowflex, yeah, the Bowflex. And I told him, I said, listen, because he was getting very discouraged. He's like, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this 6-day ride, 450 miles. And because I know that he wanted to buy a lighter bike. You know, you can get a carbon fiber, or some alloy bikes are really light, you know, or aluminum alloy. So then he kind of felt discouraged because he actually went to Highway 1, like where San Francisco is, and tried doing a little bit of it, and it really discouraged him. And anyways, finally he just got himself a nice carbon fiber bike, and he started riding with it, and he realized he can go faster, he can go further, he can go, you know, and it encouraged him again. Why do I say that? Is that I say this, is that a lot of times, if something is hard, it might be because you're not using the right equipment. You know, and I think that goes for any sport, regardless of what it is. You're going to play pool better if you have a professional pool stick that's straight. if you have a bike, or if you're into swimming or boxing or baseball, I'm sure if you get really into baseball, there's certain bats that are better than the average bat. There's certain catching gloves that are better than the average cheap one you're going to find at a Walmart, and so on and so forth. So same thing, you know, like this is a carbon fiber bike. Like I started riding a Walmart bike for the first few 6 months. Then I realized I liked the sport, and then I found a used Giant hybrid, and I rode that. It was like a $600 bike. I bought it for $120. I rode that for 4 years until I finally realized I'm already 4.5 years into this hobby. And I told Sharon, I said, you know, we need to invest in ourselves. And I got this carbon fiber that I've had for 4 or 5 years now, I think. I don't know, 4 years. Yeah, but almost 4 years, because I've been riding since 2014. So 8 years. So, but it's an investment. And now, because I have this, and it's not the best bike in the world, but it's a carbon fiber, it's quick, it's a lot lighter than the other bike I had, so therefore I was able to go further. How do I compare that to your walk in Christ? Is if you don't prepare yourself with the right tools, you're going to struggle in your life. If you keep being around the same people that drag you down, it's going to, in the same way my old bike was heavy and clunky and held me back. Well, but I still went forward. I still did some miles. Will you keep hanging around the old friends that were bad influence to you? You're still going to follow Christ, but you're going to be clunky and slow, and it's going to take you further to get over there than it had you had the right equipment to do it. See, that's the thing about the old bike I had. It had all kinds of stuff on it that weighed me down. So what do you have in your life that's weighing you down? That, yeah, you're going forward and you're walking Christ. Maybe you've gone, you know, a mile, but you should have gone 3. And maybe it's because you're not equipping yourself right. You gotta really pace yourself. And I don't know, just the thought that came to my mind because of these 21 miles I did yesterday, and I'm glad I did them. At the same time, it let me see where I'm at. And I'm nowhere near where I need to be for the 6-day challenge. But I still got, it's going to be September tomorrow, at least by the time I'm recording this. So I still got September, November, December, January, right? September. Oh, October. I forgot about October. September, October, November, December, January. I got exactly 5 months to get myself ready. But I can't do it if I keep doing 14, 15 miles. I got to push myself. But at the same time, pace myself. And that's the only way you'll get longevity and endurance to do what it is you have to do in the same way in Christ. Build your endurance, take it slow, don't push. Being a believer is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Take your time. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to share a little bit about that, and that's it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys. And if you like these types of videos, then go ahead and leave a comment, hit a like, and share it. All right, guys, God bless. Bye.